Hey everybody, I'm back again for day 25, I think it is, of this camper bedroom remodel makeover where I am painting cloth and even painting carpet. If this is your first day joining us, be sure and click the link in the description of this video where I will have a link to the, what do you call it, a group of playlist the playlist of all the videos in this series where I am doing this makeover. And if this is the first time you're joining us, welcome, and be sure and click that like button if you don't mind. Okay, so we're beginning to get toward the end, I think. Let me just show you what I've got left to do. Now, I finished that valance and window frame over there. I've still got to do that valance and window frame and then finish painting the cloth border on this cabinetry here. After that, the only thing we have left to do is paint these chairs and paint the carpet. Now the carpet is going to be a dark gray. I had intended to paint these chairs the same dark blue that we're doing the window frames and such, and that bed headboard. But I'm beginning to wonder, with the carpets being dark gray, if that's just going to be too much dark in here. Definitely got to paint these chairs. They've got stains from the previous owners, and we did some spot cleaning, shampooing it last night, and it's those stains are not coming out, so definitely going to paint them. But I'm thinking about trying to mix the blue with some white to make it a lighter color shade of blue. But I'd have to do a test run first to make sure that it's going to still match with the colors in my bedspread and curtains that I've got to change out. So I'm going to work on that first. The loud noise you're hearing is, it's very cold outside, and so my heater kicks over to the furnace, the gas furnace, and it's really noisy. But that'll come and go today as I'm recording. And so I think the first thing I'm going to do is try to mix up some paint. I'm going to do the dark blue and mix in some white primer paint that I have, because I've got some of it, might as well use it. I always go for what's cheaper, and we'll see if that is a good match for the decor. Found it. Wait a minute, here's some already open. Let's see how much is in here. That right there. Alright. So I've got this little can of primer here. Let's see if I've got enough to lot of this blue paint left. It's amazing how far that's gone with all the painting that I've done. Alright, so let's use this color. You know what, I better take off my white jacket before I start doing this. 2 parts white and 1 part blue. Add that to my little test sheet here. So that looks fine. Alright. So we will let those dry a little bit. And once they have dried, then I will compare them to my bedspread or curtain and see if either of those colors. I'm thinking this lighter blue, but then I also got to compare it to what color I painted the woodwork in here. I don't want something that's going to clash. I'm thinking this one would look weird next to it, but we'll see after it dries. Alright, so now I got to mix up some more paint for finishing up painting all of this cloth in here that I'm working on. This I'm doing 1 part blue, 1 part fabric softener, 1 part water. Another thing I could do is just paint the chairs this dark blue, and then if I decide it's too overwhelming, I can go back and paint over top of it another color. We'll see. I don't have to decide today, do I? Certainly do not. Alright, so wow, paint is so thick, it's so cold in there. Okay, and then fabric softener. This is the fabric softener that I bought that is dye free. Didn't want it to change my colors at all, which I don't know if that was necessary or not, but 1 part of that. Water in here. I will be right back with some water. Stir. I gotta get my paintbrushes out of here. And it seems real thin right now, but it is amazing what that fabric softener does. It just thickens it up. It's starting to get thicker. It's so bizarre to me. Yep, it's starting to get nice and thick now. This is definitely not something that I would be able to spray on. I was thinking about, I've even got a bottle sprayer out here. I was going to spray the solution on the carpet. I know I need the fabric softener in there to keep the fibers soft, where it doesn't just get like hard paint spilled on carpet, you know. But I don't know how much water I can put in there to make it where I can actually spray it. So I may just be rolling and brushing all the paint on the carpet. will be the final thing that I do is paint the carpet. Definitely should have slipped my gloves on. Alright, so we're ready to do some more painting on the trim work in here. I think before I do that though, that I'm going to go ahead and pull the tape off of the lampshades that I painted the other day. Definitely want to get a glove off the handle though, since I've got paint on my hands. Alright. Love it. Well, this tape is sticking to my gloves and off they go. Alright. Y'all, if this is your first time watching, what made me decide to paint these blue around here is on one of the shades over there. I accidentally hit it with my brush. I got some paint on there, and I thought, well, we'll just make that into a happy accident and paint the trim on these shades blue, which now I'm so glad we did, because I think it looks really cute. Right. Okay. So let's continue on over here. You know what? I just realized I don't have my light on here. I'll be able to see better. Okay, so we are going to, where am I? Finish up down here, painting this blue cloth. Paint a little bit more than here because it really doesn't look like it. It looks like different colors. I gotta touch that up for sure. All right. So, good. Okay. Alright, so now I'm ready to head up to the top. Figure out where I put my step stool. Put that out here. Definitely gotta have it for that. This grandma's not very tall. If you're able to see these little dots, this is so textured. Not a smooth fabric, it's a textured fabric that you get down into the little indentions. part right here, it's really hard to get in here to get them cleaned up. So I am going to take time to take that off, just like I did the other one over there. Since I am going to need more paper towels to finish this, and I have to go into the house to get the paper towels, I think I'm now going to switch over to this balance and go ahead and paint it. Even though I've got paint already on my hands, I really don't want my hands swimming in paint, so I'll put this on. I do make a mess when I'm doing these balances. This will be the fourth and final one of this bedroom project. If this happens to be your first time watching, I found that I was trying to use a brush, a nylon brush, I think it was before, to paint these, and I discovered that the sponge brushes work so much better painting this cloth. Glasses on. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to get underneath where these little your first time watching, I'll tell you, I'm working full time and doing this when I can. And so I'm going to have to call it a day. We'll come back tomorrow, get some more work done. Hopefully finish all of this trim. And then I'll be ready to work on the chairs and then the carpet. And also tomorrow I'll be able to tell for sure if I want to use either one of those newly mixed colors on the chairs or if I just want to go with this same dark blue. So thank you for joining us. Be sure and click that like button. See you tomorrow.